The Project. Kuwait. Learn. Live.
Hey guys, we've got a fun little episode today where we catch up on what we've all been up to. It's been a while since the three of us have had just a little podcast session on our own. So we get into the battle, some powerlifting, what I've been up to, and then a little this or that game.
Kuwaiti CrossFitters, you guys got to start coming together, brothers. Listen to, I think I said it in minute 15, I ripped on the Kuwaiti CrossFitters, and I explained how everyone needs to come together and show each other some love.
So enjoy, everybody. Please like...
Everybody, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes, and you may have a chance to even win a t-shirt, something that no one else on this show can say, apparently. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
All this and more in today's episode.
Retail space.
All right, here we go. We're recording. I just got retail space. Welcome to this episode of The Project, and we got the crew back. It's been a while. Like it's been a lot of episodes where it's been just us. You know, we had Functionize, we had Ermod on, we had the Battle of the East stuff, we had all that shit going on.
And now we're reunited.
But bam! All right, Meg, did you listen to the episode with Tom and Madak?
I did not.
You don't listen to any of the episodes.
I do.
What kind of a co-host are you?
I don't listen to half of them.
There's so many. They drop so many, but I get to like start some of them and I just don't get to finish them.
Okay, so listeners, just so you all hear this, my co-host, the creator of the project, just doesn't listen to the episodes. It's just me. So when quality...
I dabble in a lot of them.
She dabbles. What she's trying to say is I'm too boring for her to listen to.
No.
Or my content just sucks.
Not at all.
I'll have you guys know that I've had plenty of people tell me my content was awesome.
That's great.
Sometimes better than the guests.
It is.
And then I've had other people say...
Hey, the results speak for themselves. It's going well. It's going well.
That's right.
Not really. I mean, Haya has the best episodes. I mean, if you want me to be blunt, like Haya's episodes do the best. It's not because she's on a podium or anything. Like
Two podiums. Got money for the last one.
Well, I ate your damn
and I
food.
got sponsored.
Hey, get it, girl.
Right?
Dude, speaking of sponsored, and I'll give them a shout out. What You Mean sent us some damn good ribs. And yeah, dude, like their ribs were they were awesome.
Yeah.
they were great. So
Is that who's sponsoring you, Haya?
I got sponsored by, do I say their names? Yeah. I mean,
go
like
ahead.
they gave me a lot. I got sponsored by Cafe.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And so, like, What You Mean is they're kind of with CAF. So they got a lot of them, like a lot of the CAF sponsorees. They sent them ribs and they were like, just post about this and everything. I was like, okay, free food. Yes, please.
Dude, the ribs.
But it was good, huh?
Yeah.
The ribs were phenomenal. Nice. And oh my God, their slaw. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
The coleslaw and the potato salad.
It's just like a huge like ad for What You Mean.
Dude,
right now.
like I cheat on my meals, but this shit, I mowed it. Like I felt bloated after I ate so much.
Is not a cheat. Like coleslaw, you can't be mad about that.
Potato salad, like all that mayo and shit. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Dude. Like
who cares? It's fine. Barbecue is like our Sunday ritual. There's a place here that does a Sunday brunch and you can just get some fantastic barbecue. And so that's like, I don't know. We basically we just buy a shit ton in the morning, like for brunch, and then we just we just graze on it like all day.
Amazing.
Barbecue Sundays. Oh, so good.
Yeah, no, it's good. And what you mean?
Oh boy.
Making me so lean. Got into my belly. And now I'm feeling mean. Oh, what you mean?
Like, jingle?
I just
Matt
created
is
that
just
jingle.
trying to get free ribs.
Give me more free ribs.
I'm really impressed. That was awesome.
Right, dude?
And we got that recorded.
I know. I'm so going to play that for What You Mean. Dude, we're still playing that. I love it.
Can we just make that the intro for that episode?
Look, I got a lot of jams that I can come up with, just so everybody knows. I can make up some damn good songs.
You are super creative, yes.
Just sometimes.
No, all the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Meg doesn't think so because she doesn't listen to any of the episodes.
Damn it! That's not true.
Yay, it's Pick on Meg Day, not me.
Yes.
Oh, God. It was bound to happen.
Hey, I had to record 2 episodes with Dinka the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sorry, Tinka doesn't listen to this. She doesn't listen to the Sunday show anyway.
She doesn't listen to us either.
She's just like Meg.
No, they were good.
Yeah, of course they were.
Because I was in them.
So they're going to be high performers.
All right. So Meg, Battle of the East went okay.
Yeah. Catch me up on that.
Battle of the East went good from my perspective. The CrossFit area was the usual. It was pretty much the same setup. It ran pretty fluid. I think it was somewhat on time. Like we weren't that late in comparison to like a year ago, I think, where things were like an hour and a half behind. So that was okay. It was interesting. Umda won. He took first place. I think Khalid was third.
Wait, can we please talk about your mindset at the beginning of the day and how that influenced the way the weekend went for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like my mindset was completely different. Usually I'm high strung and like on edge and like I'm all about, it's game time and eye black and shit. This time I was dancing and I was having fun. I was, shooting the shit with the guys and
like a little less serious.
Oh, yeah. It made a huge difference. I was so loose to the point when I was doing my ring muscle ups. I looked at the judge and I was like, this and this and that. And she was like, shouldn't you be up on the rings? I'm like, it's cool. I like being down here talking to you. So my mindset was completely different.
Relax.
Yeah. Lots of smiles on my face.
How did you get into that space, or what was the difference? Was it like the training leading up to it? Was it just a decision you made going into the competition, or what do you think was the biggest like contributor of that?
2 weeks before that, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform during my workouts. And it was one weekend where I couldn't do one ring muscle up. And I like tried everything in the book. I tried as hard as I could and I just could not get up there. And then like, I think 3 or 4 workouts later, I had ring muscle ups again. And I was just kind of having fun that day. And I was like, oh shit, I'm flying up the rings. I'm not having any issues. So I just kind of felt that I just needed to be looser and smarter when I work out versus so tense and, I got to be perfect. I got to do it this way. I got to do it that way, and sticking to the plan and, just being so amped up. I was just like, all right, you know what? If this is what's going to work for me in CrossFit, as opposed to how I used to do things in baseball and other sports, then this is going to work. And sure enough, when your body's loose, you know what I mean? Like when you're loose, you can do so much more rather than being tense. And I PR'd my ring muscle ups in the workout. I think I did like 15 and I was like, shit, in like the span of 9 minutes. So I was happy about that. And I PR'd my snatch. I think I hit 80 kilos. And
you beat some really good names in some workouts.
Yeah, I'll admit, I don't like to showboat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I try to be humble.
Comes in third on the first workout.
Dude.
I know, that was the swim one, right?
Yeah.
Swimming's my jam, apparently.
It is.
But here's...
But maybe it was you got some helpful tips from it.
That is actually true. No, that is actually true. Meg sent me a lot of helpful tips. And you told me about the backstroke, right? Did I ask you about you told me about the backstroke, right? You said worst comes to worst, just flop around on your back and catch your breath and then go back to the crawl or go back to the freestyle swim.
Yeah.
So second time in the water, first thing that I did, I dove in, I rode the wave, as you said, and as Mansoor told me to. I got to give him a shout out. He coached me a lot too. Yeah. So I rode the wave, and then when I got out, I was still gassed from the first round of kettlebell goblet squats. So I flipped on my back, did about, I'd say, roughly 50 meters or so on my back, and then I switched to the breaststroke a little bit. And then I think it was the last 50 meters, I caught my breath and all of a sudden I look up and Miko's only 20 feet in front of me and I'm like, shit, I'm doing good. If Miko's just getting out of the water and I'm halfway there, of course, Miko, he was done, I think at 9 minutes. So, but it was still pretty cool to see that I kept pace with him and I had lapped the other guy next to me. I completely fucking lapped him. Which I was like, all right, that's cool. So
big confidence boost. Yeah.
I finished and I talked to her mother afterwards. She was like, oh, what place did you finish? I was like, I don't know. I probably did all right and whatever. I think I did okay. She calls me up. She goes, oh, congratulations. I was like, for what? She goes, you came out third. I was like, no way. I couldn't believe it, dude. So that was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten any of your family to come out and watch you compete?
Dubai, yeah. Dubai. Everyone came out and cheered hey on.
Nice. Okay.
We only cheer winners in my family, apparently.
Oh, shame.
They came for you during Flare. That was during your race, so we couldn't actually see you.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, all in all, the one regret that I do have is not going with an 85 kilo snatch and trying to jump to 90 and failing it, because I'd hit 90 the previous week. I just pulled too quick and I failed it. If I had hit the 85, I probably would have made the semifinals. So
yeah,
lesson learned. You know, you learn lessons from it. But I had a freaking blast. Like,
I think that's key, is like, that you just had fun with it. A lot of people just take it way too seriously, get down on themselves, and then it definitely inhibits the performance. So getting yourself into that good space before, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And then I'm doing a team thing next week at Circuit Plus. They're having a throwdown over there.
All right.
So I'm doing a team thing with, everyone's going to know Omar Shalhan. He's going to be my partner. You know Omar, right?
Awesome.
The commentator.
Yeah.
He's going to be my partner. And then I got Bahrain coming up on the 14th of December.
Okay.
So that's another individual with the young guys this time. So I'm probably going to get my ass handed to me. Yeah. So that's it from the CrossFit side. But performance-wise, Khalid Jalala did amazing. Umda did friggin' fantastic as usual. You had some really good performances out of our boy Jassim Galaf. He did well. Ali Jamal did amazing. So I got to give him a shout out. Plus, Ali Jamal is like one of the nicest guys I have ever met in CrossFit. Yeah. It was cool. Like, we were in the warm-up area, and he was just really nice to people. It was cool. The CrossFit guys were pretty chill. I was surprised, especially the old guys, my Masters guys.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Hey,
is Amda still coaching out in Kuwait, or is he? He's not still out there, is he?
No, Amda was in Dubai, and
Dubai. I heard. That's right. That's right. I did see him at DFC last year. That's right.
I think he left DFC, if I'm not mistaken. Someone told me he left. I don't know if that's true.
Well, he competed at DFC last year, Dubai Fitness Championships, or now the Dubai CrossFit Championships. Yeah, fun. He used to work at Circuit, so I knew him when he first came out.
Oh, really? So talk to him. I invited him on the show, and then I heard from him back and forth, and then it kind of just died out. So I'll leave that to you, man.
Ah, okay. All right, reach out to him.
Yeah, dude. I want someone to come on and talk about rowing. Like, rowing is the most boring thing in the world. And I just want a professional rower to come on and talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, then we got to have, his name is escaping me right now, but he came out and he did a rowing seminar with us at Circuit Plus a few years ago.
Well, and whoever that guy is.
Yeah. I'll get on it. I'll find him.
All right. So, okay, CrossFit. Awesome. I'm done over here.
Okay. Is it my turn now?
Talk about CrossFit.
Oh, drama. Wait, drama. Drama. Big time drama.
Ready
this is big time drama. So
you want to talk gossip on the pod? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Just double checking.
No, Meg's got to hear this drama. So the Open now, there has been an exchange of words between, I think, the top 5 guys.
Okay.
Back and forth about video submissions, and I think it's the same rigmarole that happens in Kuwait. Yeah.
Okay.
This is in Kuwait. Okay. So it's been going back and forth pretty hard, especially with one of the guys who I guess they called him out, and it was a huge issue. And he came on Instagram. His coach came on Instagram. He was like, "You guys want to come watch the video? Come see the video." But then you have to issue a public apology. And it's just yeah, it's dude, come on. We're in Kuwait. We're not in America. The number one guy in Kuwait is probably going to be ranked in the top 1,500 in the world.
It's still an experience to go, though.
No,
if
it is.
If you're off by 1 point and there's a smidgen of a chance that your competitor can get points taken off and you can go, you want to go for the experience. Clearly, you're not going to excel, but you want to be there.
So they just what, do they watch his video, or they just don't believe the score that he posted?
They just don't believe the scores that are posted. There are a lot of guys that are in disbelief of certain numbers.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, and I'm giving Mohamed Sliger Bouderwish, the dietitian, I'm giving him credit for this, because I saw changes in my game in 6 months. So I believe that he could have the equal amount of changes, if not better, because he's younger. So that brain plasticity is better. His endurance is better. He wiped the floor with people in the Bahrain thing, even though it was a scaled event. He still did really well because apparently he has a lot of endurance, which if you have an engine, you're going to do well in certain workouts. It comes down to the workout. And, he's one of the guys that people call into question. And you got to give the guy credit because he has come a long way in the past year. So I seriously, if I didn't see my progress in 6 months, I wouldn't believe it. But I do believe it because I've seen my progress. And, people are going to talk shit no matter what. So it's like...
Well, it'll show, when it comes time to perform in front of everybody. I mean, you'll know if it's... That's the thing that just never makes sense about people, lying about their scores, that kind of stuff. Because it's like, what do you... okay, you get there, you get to the competition. Then what? If you didn't actually do that work, it's going to be exposed at that time.
Yeah. And the top...
Those are typically the people that conveniently get some kind of an injury, right?
I know, right, dude? I know. It's so funny. That's so true, dude. It happens in so many sports where you get guys that talk a lot of shit. And I want to say this to all the athletes in Kuwait who competed in the Open. You're all great. You all did a good job. And what we should do as a community is bring each other together and get each other better rather than talking trash in this gym against that gym and this person against that person. I mean, dude, there's got to be camaraderie within the top 10. That's the only way we're going to get better.
As like you said, as a community I know when I first got to Kuwait, the thing that surprised me was about the CrossFit gyms of how segregated they were in terms of just coaches really not even interacting with each other, members not really interacting with each other, no community, CrossFit community as a whole in Kuwait getting together to do things. That was always no, I'm the first CrossFit gym here, or no, I've got the best equipment, or no, I've got the that. And it took a while to kind of build that. And it took, I think, getting some more coaches that were expats and looking for connection, people from outside of Kuwait, where you started to see, them getting together a little bit more for workouts and visiting different gyms and things like that. But those, the in-house throwdowns are great, but it's so good to have them for the entire community within, because in the end, you guys just want everybody to be active and healthy and happy, Yeah. So it's just, that was always one of the big surprising things too. When I first started competing in CrossFit and going to a lot of those events, of just how different the spectators are there compared to other sports. Most people there are just a little bit happier. People cleaned up after themselves. And this, I'm talking about in the States and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, it's not so much over there. But you think of other professional games, and you get people that are just they're eating the shitty concession food. Probably most of them don't play that actual sport themselves. Still are rarely active, and you get the rivalry and the emotions and everything played up really high. But in CrossFit, it's just the spectators are still the athletes, and there just seems to be a little bit more camaraderie with it all. So it's cool if that stuff starts to happen, a little bit more in Kuwait.
But it would be, because I learned this from baseball, and I learned this from playing ball in the States and or being around my friends and having good coaches. I've had some great coaches that have been at the pro level, and they always said one thing. They're always ask questions and learn from the people around you. You can learn from the worst and you can learn from the best. And even when you're playing a rival team, at the pro level, they're still friends. If you look at the pros in football, and if you look at the pros in baseball, basketball, and everything, those quarterbacks or the centers or whatever, they're still making conversation after the game. They're still going out. And they probably play college ball together or something.
I would say a lot of them have crossed paths at one point or another before that. So for sure.
And here it's everyone's at each other's throats, and everyone's oh, no, you didn't do this, or oh, no, it's a no rep here or whatever. It's dude, come on, guys. Yeah. Seriously, guys in Kuwait, get along. Help each other out. That's the only way we're going to get better. That's the only way we're going to break the top 500 is if we work together on this and stop just kicking each other in the nuts. All right. My rant is over.
That was a great point to end on.
Sorry.
Yeah. Why are you just staring at me?
We're waiting for powerlifting so we could get into the cool part of the episode.
The powerlifting side of it.
Okay, so my first meet, everyone kept saying, by the way, you're all super spoiled, and every other meet that you go to after this will not look like this. They were correct.
Really? Okay.
Just because of how that first meet was set up and the equipment that they had, and it ran so smoothly.
This is the one in Dubai you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one in Kuwait was not the best conditions. I ended up failing one of my warm-up squats because I was on these stones that were slanted, which I fell forward. So my confidence was a bit not great. Yeah. It was really hot. It wasn't the best, but it was a good opportunity for me to kind of move past this and try to pump myself up regardless of the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And so I failed my third squat, and I thought that I was going to be really upset. It was going to ruin my day. Like I didn't know how I was going to react to failing a third attempt. And I was so surprised because I was just like, all right, that sucked, but it didn't ruin my total because I ended on a match PR of my last meet. Cool, great, not a big deal. And then I failed my third attempt at bench. And once again, it wasn't going to ruin my total. It was the same match, and I moved forward from that again. Deadlifts are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she crushed it with a deadlift.
But the funny thing with deadlifts is I was watching Open World, and I saw this powerlifter called Sam Calhoun. And she's crazy, crazy, crazy strong. But she doesn't select numbers to hit PRs. She selects numbers to build a total.
Yeah.
So her last deadlift.
She knows what she needs to hit in each one in order to get,
That's it. Like her last deadlift, it was like 498 pounds. Or it was a number like that. And people were saying, well, why don't you just make it an even like 500? Why don't you just break the world record? Why don't you do this? And she was like, no, that's not what I needed to win. I was just going to hit the number that I needed, know that I get it, and that was it. And so I went into
why risk it? Yeah.
That's it. So I went into my last attempt and I wanted 160, but I knew that I just needed 157 and a half. Went with
so
150. I did it. And then I ended up getting second overall, and it was fantastic.
If you had hit that 160, would that have made a difference between second and first?
No. Like the first person, she has competed in worlds.
What's her name?
Sika. She's at Inspire.
She's insane.
She's 52 kilos. Like
we gotta get
crazy
her. We gotta
strong.
get her on the show. She's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Like for her size, she can pull some serious weight.
Nice.
And she did the smart thing. This is where if I had went with 185 and did what Haya did, I would have been safe. But I chose to see what Haya did and do the opposite and go big or go home.
But basically. You know what? Like there are people that have criticized me, and they're like, "Why do you take such small jumps in between attempts?" And my response is, "This is what I do in training. Like this is what I'm comfortable with, and it's been working for me so far."
Right. And that's totally independent. Like some people, it's small jumps in the beginning and then big jumps at the end. Some people, they need to go those big jumps. Like that's something that you just learn. The more you learn about yourself, but the more you play with that during training. And that's a totally individualized thing. There's not a one size fits all on how you approach that for sure.
The community there I was scared going into it because I didn't know if the female lifters would connect, but they did. And it was fantastic. And
that's awesome.
We were all supporting one another. And it's so nice to see a community building here. And everyone supporting one another.
Yeah.
So it was good to see.
That's awesome. It's good to hear. That part needs to be built up a little bit more as far as, women not being afraid of the strength training and just finding a little bit of support within that. Because I think you guys all kind of train at like different places. There's not like one like powerlifting place that's really taking it all. And I think you guys are all exposed to it in different ways. So.
Yeah. No, we've said that we're going to like train together and just really try to build that community here. Because I've seen like, now that I know that there are women who are interested in the same sport that I'm in, I'd love to be around that energy.
Yeah.
It's different training by yourself as opposed to just like when Badriya is at the gym and I'm struggling with a deadlift and I can just hear her screaming at me from across the gym. It's a little extra push to get it up.
Get up. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
When you talked about the difference between the Dubai competition and Kuwait, obviously there were like some environmental factors that were a little different as far as like equipment things. But like, I'm just curious because I just led a workshop recently on the hormone talk. And I know that we've talked about this before, but do you know, like within your cycle, like were you at the same point for each competition?
100%. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Because I knew exactly going into it what was going to happen for both. With the Dubai competition, I was ovulating. So fantastic. I was at
no doubt. Strength has peaked at that time. Yeah.
And like I knew it going in that I was going to be at like the peak of my cycle. Kuwait, I was at the weakest point.
Yeah.
Like it was the weakest of the week and I knew it and I could feel it in my body because the bloat was there. I had to cut a lot more weight than I wanted to make my weight class. So I could feel it in my squats. I could feel it in my deadlifts. But it was nice to know that I could still push through it.
Right.
Because adrenaline and all of that it won't fully compensate for it because I did end up failing.
But there are little tweaks that I think just number one, like mindset, knowing, that you're there at that point or that it is different. That's huge already. So that you're not just questioning of like, oh my God, this was so easy before. And then like blaming, all those external things that you had, that you could have easily blamed it all on. But just knowing, number one, knowing that like allows you to make little changes of like knowing that you're going to be a little bit extra bloated. Like, and what that bloating is, I think we've talked about this before, is that the watery part of your blood is way decreased. So you fatigue a lot faster. You're running a little bit hotter. So you can make changes with your hydration and your food and all that kind of stuff to help boost that up a little bit. So being aware of it. Oh, I'm so like glad that you like actually knew. I was like really curious about that. I'm like, but wait.
But I'm always very wary of it within like my program as well. Yeah. Like, and I told Rob before no, I know, because you told me to tell Rob about it and everything. And I was
the first one. Just so everybody in the world knows, I had to argue with her for like 3 weeks. I'm like, no, it was like a month actually. I was like, look, you got to tell him.
No, because even with the weight thing, I didn't know. Like, I went up to him and I was like, listen, Rob, I'm going to be close to my cycle come competition. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this weight issue.
Dude, she was wearing a garbage bag half the day.
Listen,
she was walking. She was walking
like
around
the wrestlers.
Wait, hold
on. Block all day.
I woke up that morning at 60.4 and I needed to be under 60.
Yeah, shit.
It was just, I had to lose some water weight at that point.
I told her, go to a sauna, dude. Like, just buy a sauna suit.
All the wrestlers used to do is get in those suits and go sit in the sauna. And oh my God, that's hilarious.
It worked. I weighed in under 60.
I know, she was so happy.
Like, I played scenarios in my head. Like I had a strategy coming in. I wanted to podium. And so these were the steps that I needed to take in order to podium.
What about Meg? What about you? What workshops have you been leading? What events have you been up to? You've been running and all kinds of crazy shit I've been seeing. Yeah,
still doing the run club. I haven't gone in a couple of weeks to run club because it's been like really freaking cold here. But still do that. What's interesting though is like, okay, so when I started run club like a couple of months ago, I was really worried about my hip issue that I've had for, I don't know, it's been like over a year and it's just very intermittent. Like I get this sharp pain in my hip and it took me forever to kind of figure out what it was. It's been like psoas related, definitely pelvic floor was a huge part of it. So the more I've strengthened those things and paid attention to those, like the pain totally goes away. Dehydration is a huge part of it too. So this last week I had 2 friends come visit me in town. I took like a little vacation here in the city, showed them around, but it was definitely, like wine for dinner every night, eating a little bit more junk food than normal, totally out of my routine and things. And it came like to Sunday when they finally left and like the pain in my hip started up again. And I haven't had it for months. And it was 100% like dehydration. I know so much. So I started hydrating it and it mimics like signs of like sciatica. I mean, it got to a point where it's like, I couldn't balance on my one leg. I couldn't every time I would take a step, I would get this like sharp, shooting shock. And the more I've stayed up on top of my hydration and everything and still moving, it's like, I feel great. And it took me, like 2 days to kind of get ahead of it. But that's the thing with hydration too. It takes the body a couple of days to kind of catch up. But so yeah, that was just a huge, huge impact in the last week of going from like healthy habits and normal lifestyle to a little vacation mode. And so I kind of had that little experience of having to go back to our first steps back to the healthy life.
No, but dude, we all jump out of it from time to time. Everybody jumps out of it. No one stays in it unless you're like Rob. I mean,
I took my first week off after the comp.
Yeah.
That was like the first week I've taken off in a really long time. And it was fantastic.
It's good for you. It's good for you for sure.
Because you're just a little hungrier when you get back.
Yeah. Yep.
Good to miss
it. Yeah, you powerlifters can do that shit. I asked my coach, hey, I asked Rob, I'm like, hey, can I take some time off? He goes, well, in CrossFit, you really don't want to take more than 2 days off, but if you want to do, you can do, you can do whatever. Yeah, he was like, you can do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'll take the 1 day off. And then like the next day I jumped into a class at CrossFit Southie. So yeah. Before I forget, I did want to give a shout out to Craig Horton, Munir, Miko, all the guys that were in the Masters category. They were freaking awesome. And Igor, the guy was phenomenal. Nice. He was like big Swedish dude. He kicked ass, man.
Yeah.
Like he was just big.
And Masters division is always my favorite to watch.
They're so awesome. Laid back compared to the other guys.
Yeah.
I had to give Craig a shout out. Craig called me Bridges, so I'll take that.
Did he?
Yeah.
You kind of do, actually.
He wasn't the only guy. Like a bunch of guys are like, oh yeah, you're the Bridges of Kuwait, because I'm growing this thing out. And I used to do this during baseball because I can't grow a beard. So I grow this.
Yeah.
But
Totally look like it. That's hilarious. But yeah, no, good little vacation week. And then I've started running an online course. It's a 21-day program with a group of women in Hong Kong. It's an all-female gym.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So the first week they get 3 lessons and that's all about core strength. So we talk a lot about breath control and breath work and just what that can do for minimizing pain, anxiety, what that can do for building core strength and, how it can boost your lifts and all those kinds of things. A lot of functional movements within that, talking about, better core movements than just like the planks and the sit-ups and, that kind of shit. Like what stuff that actually mimics the movements that you need to do within a day. So that was really cool. And then the second week we went over, which was just this week, we went over all the core physiology stuff. So cycle and hormones and stress hormones, environmental stress and digestive stress. And, especially for them right now with everything that's going on, like environmental stress is a huge one. And so, they're having a hard time, even getting to the gym to do these things, transportation and all kinds of stuff. So it was a lot of mindset stuff of, controlling what you can control and how to make, the best of controlling these other stress loads because, that one is so high at the moment. And then next week, we're going to go over core values, which will be good for like goal setting, kind of visions and goals and stuff like that. So it's been super cool though, to connect with like another part of the world. The connection to them actually started in Kuwait. So the woman running the woman running the gym out there, Steph Pullman, she is the one who actually worked with recruiting me to come out to Kuwait to help her run Circuit Plus. So we ran Circuit Plus for about 4 years together. And then, she went out to Hong Kong and I came back to the States.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool connection there.
It's been really cool, but it's got the creative, juices and things flowing of different programs. And I'm just running everything through Facebook right now. So it's really cool, like a free little platform. But yeah, I definitely want to catch up with you guys on, doing something maybe similar for our listeners or whatever people want. If people want to send in what they'd like to hear about it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it's just little 5-minute lessons each day. And then we do like a Facebook Live at the end of the week and kind of catch up on it and just gets everybody connecting on these topics that, everyone's kind of struggling with or curious about, but maybe doesn't really know where to go or
that's
who
actually,
to talk to.
That's a good idea, Meg. Maybe we should do like a live thing. Do you want to run a live thing on the Instagram?
Totally.
Because Facebook is dead here. Like
I know. And that's the struggle for me. It was like, they were like, well, everybody's on Facebook, so we'll just use that. And I'm like, I have not touched Facebook in 5 years. Like, I don't know. Like, is anybody still on it? And it's like, really hard. But no, we totally should do something like that.
Yeah. You Americans, you guys aren't like, you're not up to times with us.
No, now everyone's doing the TikTok thing.
TikTok is horrible.
The kids and their TikToks.
That is the big thing right now. I haven't even looked at it yet. I haven't.
No, it's like Musically,
it's just
but
music.
not. It's just
Okay.
No,
I don't fucking get it. And it's always people like throwing money around. It's like, dude, okay.
No, but your account is weird. Like I flipped through yours, and I'm pretty sure that like most people don't have your feed.
You got some kind of what are you looking up that you get that doesn't build it off of like what your history or something is like?
No, I get like bus drivers and like house workers. Like
the house workers are they're
awesome.
They're so funny.
Like seriously, I sit and watch this shit for half an hour. They're creative as shit.
They are. It's really funny.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Like they're so creative and it's pretty cool. Yeah. Everybody, I'm on TikTok. Just so you know.
You actually post anything.
Actually, it's the Project Kuwait that's on TikTok.
Oh shit!
It's not even my own account. It's the Project Kuwait.
So did we have a fun little game then?
Yeah, Meg. Yeah. Dude, Meg, let's get this thing rolling.
Let's do it. A little this or that, a little would you rather kind of episode here. Some are random, some are health related, but let's just kind of go down the list. And I think, people can kind of get a little better idea of our personalities or maybe get them thinking about some things a little differently. So,
all right.
I sent you a list of a few. Did you have one that stood out to you there or do you want me just to pick?
I got one.
All right, let's hear it.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'd buy you some art, a Picasso or a Garfunkel. That was the one that stuck out to me. All right, Bare Naked Ladies. If you don't know them, shut this podcast off now because you are not worthy of listening to the podcast.
They came to the Minnesota State Fair this year.
Did you go and see them?
No,
dude, they are the shit.
I think I can't remember who they played with. I think they played with like G Love and the Special Sauce.
Dude, come on,
something.
Chicken the Chinese Chicken. You had drumstick and a brain stop ticket watching X-Files with no
I'm
lights
very
on.
Familiar.
On,
I'm so glad this isn't YouTube or that whole thing would have been copyrighted.
What do you mean? How? I'm just saying a phrase. And I didn't. No, you're allowed to say like 20 seconds. It's something crazy like that. They give you.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone go listen to Bare Naked Ladies, copyright, whatever. Hey, we'll put those things in.
Also, you're not recording this video on Zoom, are you?
No, I'm not. No.
God damn it, Maddie.
Why do you want me to record it?
Yes, because that would have been golden to have on video right now.
Oh, okay. That's actually a good point. Dude, I'll do it again. Like, I don't care. I'm the singer of the group, apparently.
Oh, boy.
All right. So, yeah, $1 million. If you had $1 million, what was it? If you had $1 million.
Would you rather have $10 million and 1 year to live or no $1 million?
Can you fix your microphone, please?
Okay.
There we go. Thank you.
Starting again. Would you rather have $10 million and 1 year to live or no $1 million and you live a healthy life for the rest of your time here?
Yeah.
Meg?
I would rather live the healthy life. Like, I've been poor and I've still had a good time. So I would take the healthy life for sure. I mean, $10 million, I know I could have a lot of fun in a year with that, but I would definitely rather take probably some more smaller experiences or small scale experiences over a long period of time than a bunch maybe in a short period of time. I don't know. Ask me again another couple of months.
Nah, dude, $10 million ain't doing you shit. That won't give you a private jet anymore.
Oh,
like if you had if you said $100 million, maybe we're talking about giving up my life. But no, I would never do that because, like you said.
So what is the price? $100 million then?
No. Honestly, there's no price because money. Like, look at everyone in Hollywood, and look at every billionaire.
Can I switch the question then?
Wait,
what would you give up, or like what would be worth only living for 1 year?
Ooh.
Is that like a thought-provoking one?
Okay. Really,
I know.
We'll leave it for like another time.
What would be worth it?
Because clearly money isn't to any of us. As opposed to
for me,
living...
in all honesty,
yeah.
ensuring the safety of you in a day and like you guys living a happy, healthy life, that would be worth it.
But
like if someone had a gun to your heads and said, this is the choice, I would take that choice. But otherwise, I don't think anything else is worth it. Like nothing can, because look at Hollywood. Look at all the billionaires. They still have problems. They're still committing suicide. They have all the money in the world. You know, money doesn't fix everything.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not. But look at Olympians. Like an Olympian would do it for a gold medal.
Yeah, dude, that's different. That's different. You're working your whole life for that one moment.
But I can't.
And if you fail before the age of 34 or 35, you're screwed. You can't do it again. Right, Meg? I mean, that's kind of like the cutoff right there. You know, so they gave up their whole life for one medal. And if they don't get it, they failed their entire life.
But that's my point. Like, do you guys have like a gold medal?
Repeat the original question one more time. It's what would you give up?
What would you give up? Like, not give up, but what would be worth only living like 1 year and basically give up the rest of your life for?
Yeah, for 1 year.
We can come back to this.
Maybe maybe, I don't know. For me, it's probably traveling to every country and like connecting with a person in every country and like just learning more about that. Cause I think like that would be interesting to get the answer to this question from very different places. Like we kind of have a privilege to dream about some of this stuff, whereas some people it's just like straight survival mode and they don't even get a chance to like, think about that. I've asked that when I went to Indonesia, I'd asked my driver that I had he'd take me from the beach up into the mountains for a couple of days. And I'd asked him, if you could be anything, what would it be? Or if you could go anywhere, where would you go? And everything was just very like, blinders on, narrow-minded. It was just like, what it like for him being a driver was the best job because he gets to meet people, he gets to talk to people. But like the jobs that he had before, it was like no connection with people, very limited, money and survival and stuff like that. So just like for some of them, it's like, to like have my own farm. And it's like, really? Like that would be it. Like you're already a farmer. Like that would be it. But it's like, no, to have like my own, like that would be the dream. So it's just like, it's really interesting to think of different perspectives from around. So I don't know, maybe being able to do something around the world, not just visiting, but I don't know. I'd have to think of something that I would want to accomplish like in every country or with every country would be really cool. I would live 1 year if I got to do that.
That's a good question. Yeah. You should throw it on Instagram because we have a different...
we definitely should. We should throw all these out on Instagram.
That's a good call. That's a good call, Meg. I like that one. Yeah.
Love it. That's a good one. Nice, Haya.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
يطلع مني.
All right,
who has the next one?
All right, I got the next one here.
All right.
Would you rather be on a carnivore diet, but you can only have well-done steak? or would you be a vegan?
You lost me at the well done part, right?
Oh.
All right, Maggie asked the perfect question. Okay, first off, everybody, if you've watched Game Changers and you think going vegan is the thing, you're an idiot. Because our ancestors in no way, shape, or form walked around saying, I'm only going to eat berries and nuts.
There is that argument, though. There was that argument.
We are seasonal eaters.
But that's my point.
We are seasonal eaters, and I agree with that 100%. There are certain vegetables that only grew in the summer and in the winter, right, Meg?
Right, absolutely.
And our bodies probably process them a lot better during those seasons. But to say that when we were walking through the jungles of Africa, starving, if we saw a dead friggin' deer or antelope or whatever it's called, we weren't gnawing at its carcass. Of course we were. If we saw good meat, we were eating that shit, all right? It wasn't like we could find and forage food everywhere. It just depended. Right. Like, look at Kuwait.
You had when it wasn't around. I mean, you had a laser focus on it, and it was. I mean, you had to get what you could.
Yeah, dude. we weren't.
I think there's definitely like, and heritage and genetics definitely will play a role in predominantly what your ancestors had access to. Like we've talked about that more of like the Norwegian types of having higher fat diets, fattier fish and that kind of stuff. Which seasonal depression. Winters, a lot less light and things around there, a heavier fat diet in order to, kind of help sustain scarcity of food and things like that. So anybody with that kind of a heritage, that can explain some seasonal depression. If you're not getting enough good fats in your diet, or things that, that your genetics are, predisposed to being, high performing on, it's just, that's something to think about for sure. But to say that shouldn't have one thing or the other, I don't know. I struggle with that too.
I'll tell you.
I watched that documentary too on those athletes that professional athletes and stuff that are going all vegan, and they do like the blood test and they show you what it looks like when you have meat and stuff in your blood.
I shut that shit off after 15 minutes. I shut it off after 15 minutes because what?
People need to understand that, the funding that gets behind these things too. You got to look at who's putting this stuff out there, and
it's a small sample size and everything. Dude, come on. Like could look at the guys that are on the carnivore diet and look at how strong they are. Like it just depends. You can go either way. It depends on your body.
It goes back to what we consistently say, to just find what works for you. That's it.
Totally.
Yeah, in the fitness industry, we're a bunch of gullible people, and we buy into any bullshit diet that comes out because we want the quick fix and the easy way out of it, whether it's keto, paleo, or whatever it may be, and including the whole Game Changer thing, because it's whatever the snake oil salesmen's market to us. And it just goes on to a whole different scheme that's of a bigger picture, probably to just sell more shit of something or new books. Yeah. Like that's what it is.
Someone I do want to get on is Diana Rogers. I don't know if you guys follow her on Instagram, but she's like just debunking all the claims that a lot of these alternative meat companies and a lot of, I don't want to like box in vegans, but a lot of vegans that,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Just talk about like how damaging that farming is to like the environment and the carbon footprint and everything. And she's just like debunking a lot of, that of how like responsible farming, it doesn't have this impact that people think. Like their reason for going vegan is because they think it's better for the environment. Like she's got some really good stuff to think about on the flip side of that. So that might be a good one to have on and talk a little bit more in depth about.
Yeah, I agree. Did I cut you off, Haya? Are you sure?
Fine, I'm used to it.
All right. Vegans, call me. Send me a DM if you want to argue with me. I'd love it.
Meg, what's your answer? Meg, what's your answer? Carnivore, well done, or vegan?
I hate a well-done steak and I love fruits and vegetables. God damn it. I would probably choose vegan. Like I hate a well-done steak. Like to me, like I would just collect as many protein sources from my veg as I could. Yeah. And fruits and vegetables. I don't think I could just live on well-done steak.
To be fair, you'd probably get a lot more carcinogens from the well-done steak. So you're better off with the fruits and vegetables too. And you can still get your proteins from fruits and vegetables. Like if you said a medium well steak, all right, then we're talking. Like a medium bone-in ribeye, I could live off that shit. Like hands down.
Can I be like a vegan that eats cheese though?
No, it's not. Cheese is not a fruit and
dairy
vegetable.
Option. Still get dairy.
You were like, can I at least have a dairy option within
Secret
this? Like...
option number 3. That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, no, I hate a well done steak. I like mine rare, like still mooing. All right, Maddie, you got the next one?
I got the next one apparently. All right. Ooh, I like this one. Money or free time? Money or free time? And I bitched about this a little bit today.
Are these things independent though? Like, can you not have free time and money, or can you not have money and free time?
It depends on how privileged you are.
No, because it's all right. I'll rephrase the question. Work a shitload and have a lot of money and no free time, or have a lot of free time and not a lot of money by not working, you know, because I think trainers are the best example, because as a trainer or coach, like if you have a shit ton of clients,
time for money.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is. So,
yeah, I would say as long as I'm doing something I love, I'd go for the working. I wouldn't want just free time to do nothing and not be able to. That's a hard question. God damn it.
It's your question. You came up with that one.
I know. I didn't even think about it.
But it's also like, is this idle free time? Or is it productive? Is it fulfilling?
Or prioritization, like where you prioritize your time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I did one of my talking videos that you introduced me to that Haya hates apparently.
I do not hate.
And it was, part of it was like prioritizing. To prioritize your time. I wake up at 4 a.m. so I could go on the assault bike and get my first portion of the workout in. And then I go to work, which is to make money. And then I come home, spend time with the family. That's a priority. That's my free time. And then I go to the gym with the rest of my free time, where I could be training people and making more money, you know, but it's just like, it's not worth my time to train people.
I think I know where this question came from for me now, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, this is the struggle, is like, I am doing everything that I love, but I am doing a lot of trading, you know, time for money. And it's just, kind of figuring out how you can get that balance in a schedule that's all over the place. Like I don't have a single day that is the same. I don't have a set time, you know, where my gym time just between these hours, because some days I may be working between those hours and some days not. So I've definitely done a poor job just being back over the last few months of prioritizing my time on that. And that's probably why I came up with this question, like, which is more important. But 100% either way, like I still have my staples that I know I get in a day. I still look at my day, you know, and what is coming up and what can I get in and what options do I have and that. But yeah, it is as one of the benefits of kind of having the traditional like 9 to 5, as people say, is just, it does give some consistency in a schedule to where you can prioritize the things that you do enjoy outside of that.
Yeah. Hey.
You want me to ask a question?
No, I want you to answer the question.
Well, clearly work on something that I enjoy.
So you'd rather take free time over money?
No, I said work, not free time.
So you want to work?
Yeah.
You want to work at powerlifting? Dude, she was pulling 315 for 8s today.
Yeah.
I know, that's what she said. That's
fucking insane,
dude.
I didn't even expect it.
Like we were talking about jobs today, and like she was just saying, "Oh, I might teach or whatever," and I was like, "Dude, just be a trainer and continue powerlifting." Like that's where it's at. Like for you, that's where it's at. Like I would do like 2 PTs and then just train.
I'm looking at my options right now. Yeah.
But all right, so who's got the next pick?
I have a fun one.
All right, let's hear it.
Barbell or dumbbell?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really.
If you could only train with one item, would it be barbells or dumbbells?
Ooh, that's a good. Maggie, you can go first. I know what mine. I already know what mine is.
Okay, there's great benefits to both of them, but I know that dumbbells offer like tons of benefits that a barbell just can't do. But I love a barbell. I like having it all in one piece and one thing to control. I would choose a barbell for sure.
Yes.
Dumbbells suck, but for a reason, because they're so damn good for you. to be able to work, one side at a time. I would take the dumbbells if I was only allowed to ever only do dumbbell snatches. That is my favorite move with a dumbbell for sure. But yeah, no, I would probably choose a barbell for sure.
So with you on that one.
Really? Hey, you would choose a barbell too?
I'm a power lifter. What else would I pick?
Okay.
Like, I love my dumbbell unilateral movements and all, but like, no, I need the big three in my life.
All right. In all honesty, I would 100% go with dumbbells. And I used to train solely with dumbbells. And the reason why is because barbells created such an imbalance between my right and left side, especially when it came to bench press and bent over rows. Like, I felt it when I would go to a dumbbell. It was like my left side would fatigue so much easily compared to my right. And it was definitely attributed to the barbell work that I was doing beforehand. But then when I switched and I only went to doing dumbbells for bent over rows, for bench press, incline bench press specifically, my numbers shot up. And then when I jumped back on under a barbell, my numbers went through the roof. Now, there is a different type of power and strength you get from the barbell as opposed to the dumbbell. There's definitely a difference. But if you want to train balanced, you would have to go with the dumbbell. And that is the one thing for health. Like, unless you're competing in CrossFit or powerlifting or whatever, but for general health and wellness, dude, ditch the barbell. Keep it, keep both sides the same. Always start with your weaker side versus your stronger side, because if your weaker side, that's the one that's going to fatigue faster. So go into that fresh, and then the stronger side, have that as your second set. That's what I used to do. And dude, I saw huge changes once I switched to dumbbell work. It sucks. Dumbbells suck. Because you actually...
They're brutal.
They are.
I 100% agree with you, though, on like, general health and wellness. Like, if you have access to dumbbells over a barbell, like, by all means, take it. You're in a better boat, with that. But I would still pick a barbell just because.
And dude, honestly, like, if you had 50-pound dumbbells at your house, or like 40-pound dumbbells at your house, you could do a full body training 3 times a week. You wouldn't even need a gym. Totally. Like, let's be realistic. You would not need a gym if you just had one pair of dumbbells. You could build some serious strength just with that. And there are a lot of programs out there where you could do that. And that's my...
I mean, you can build some serious strength just with your body weight, manipulating, loads of different ways of, tempo and reps and all kinds of things. But yeah, I'd still take the barbells. But dumbbells, you've definitely sold them.
I laugh at some people when they're like, yeah, look at how much I could bench press with a barbell. And then I'm like, dude, let's see what you could do with dumbbells. Like, 2
separate objects and still control them. And
I'm so much better at a dumbbell bench press than an actual bench press.
Really? I had that problem for a while. I switched to incline.
My God. I can't hear about incline again.
Incline is the solution for
Maddie's
everything.
Favorite.
No, seriously.
Solution for everything.
It really
for everything,
is.
chest,
coconut oil and incline bench press. Just solve all your problems in life.
You rub the coconut oil on your chest, and I swear I wish I had a video, because I'm sitting here rubbing my chest right now.
Can I see a TikTok video of this, please?
You know what? I'll probably do it on
Bare
the
Naked Ladies is your soundtrack, by the way.
I'll do it. I'll definitely do it. But
oh, that's awesome.
Coconut oil is good.
Oh, boy.
All right, next question. All right. Meg, this is all you.
My question? All right, I got one now. If you were reborn in a new life, would you rather be alive in the past or the future?
Oh.
I don't think I had that one on the list for you guys.
No, you didn't. I just looked at the list. I'm like, where the fuck is
I thought you were looking at the list being like, shit, where is that one?
I didn't see this one. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
As a woman, clearly not in the past, just because
is there in any decade, you say in the past at all in general?
I mean, I'm reborn, not visiting, right?
Yeah, if you were reborn in a new life, would you rather be alive in the past or the future?
Like, you're basically asking, do I want to be alive in the past where women are even more oppressed, or in the future where the world might be destroyed?
No. The future. I honestly think the future is going to be dominated by women. I think the next superpower is
I don't
the
think
female
the Earth
power.
will exist.
Just because
that's my point.
No, Earth will exist. Men are stupid, so women will prevail. We all know that's about to happen.
Okay, why did you answer? What would? Yeah,
I was waiting for your answers. I was going to cheat.
It's kind of
I don't know.
Like, known or unknown?
Do we know what we know now, Or do we not know? Is our memory wiped? Because if our memory's wiped, then I don't know.
Yeah, totally valid.
I mean, that switches it up. If we know what we know now, then I'd definitely go back to the past.
I same. I think I would choose past. I just think like some simpler times. When I think of the future, I always think of the movie WALL-E.
That is such a good movie. That is such a good movie. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Because I see it now. I'm just like, everybody's sucked into their screens and everybody's, like obesity, diabetes, this disease is just all over. I'm just like, oh, really cool things about the technology that it can do for us. Obviously, podcasting and sharing with the world being one of them. Yeah. But I don't know. I imagine that if we were in the past, though, we'd like have like an old school radio show too, though. Still spreading the good word.
I think the best part was the dance Meg gave us. Just so everybody knows.
This is how I imagine the past. This is why we need to be recording the episodes. Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I got the video on, but that was funny shit, dude.
That's hilarious. So I don't know. I imagine I look at like things in the 60s and 70s and yes, like some really terrible times for a lot of people, but I don't know. It also just looks like I'm a hippie though. So I think that's probably why. I think that would be it. But I'm also obsessed with like the Prohibition era and like gangsters and that kind of stuff. Like I think it would have been really fun maybe to be around in some of that time. Probably really awful, but in my head I feel like it'd be cool.
No, I get that. Like it would be cool to be in Kuwait when it was different.
Yeah.
Like with like women walking around like mini skirts and just it would be interesting to see how the environment
But is that true? You think they were really walking around miniskirts, or do you think that
I've heard so many stories from a lot of the girls that I met out there, and their moms would tell those stories all the time.
Like my mom and her work story.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to have a glance at what that was like.
You didn't answer the question though. Like Meg said hippie era or Prohibition.
And you?
I don't know. I was waiting on you.
You know what? I am going to take a leap of faith and say future.
Future.
Go into the unknown.
Interesting.
Yes.
I would definitely go into the past. All right. And this sounds stupid. Okay. I'd go back to when the gladiators were around, dude. I'd want to meet Hercules.
You would.
Yeah, I would want to meet like Hercules and shit. Like, I wouldn't go back to gladiators. I'd go back to the ancient Greeks. Like, I would want to see what's his name who ran the Spartan, who actually ran the 24 miles or whatever, or the
marathon.
Yeah, he ran from one mountain to the other or whatever. Like I would want to be back during that time to see the oracles. And granted, they were just friggin' smelling fumes from the mountains that made them high, but it was still cool. And like meeting Hercules and the magic and the all that crazy shit that went on, I would want to be there, dude. That was the time.
Sure,
I see that very fitting for your personality, though. That makes sense. Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean, Meg? All right.
Just like
raw barbaric.
Yeah, like Hercules. Like you say that, it's just like
Hercules. You ever saw that movie? No one saw the movie Hercules with the Disney cartoon? No.
Oh no,
I just got Disney Plus though, so I'm gonna watch it.
Ooh.
There we go.
My boyfriend's making me go through the Star Wars movies first. I haven't seen them like in their order of release, so
really?
I'm watching them now. Yeah.
Dude, you got to bring your boyfriend with you to Boston, man. I mean, me and this guy would jam, dude. Like seriously,
like
baseball, Star Wars. Does he like?
Definitely.
Does he like 300?
Yeah, we watched that not that long ago. Yeah,
there we go. Now you just have to ask him if he likes Tenacious D, the movie.
I'm sure he does, but I don't know. I'll ask him.
All right, so.
That's hilarious.
All right, Maddie, you have the last one.
I have the last one. Okay,
make it a good one.
All right, I actually get a really good one. Rice or potatoes? That's a really good one in my book.
Well, obviously the Arabs are choosing rice.
I was going to say potatoes all the way. Like if I could live off of French fries and mashed potatoes.
Why do you keep putting the microphone away from your mouth, dude? Seriously, Emmanuel, I'm sorry, dude. I swear.
Is this better?
No, that's too
What
close.
if I spoke like this?
Now you're just an asshole. Emmanuel, I'm sorry, man. Emmanuel, just so everyone knows, is our sound guy. He's unbelievable. Like he takes the shitty sound.
I'm glad that we actually are calling him by his name now, not just calling him Sound Guy. Because we never really long time we'd be happy. Like, "Hey, Sound Guy."
I'm sure he's happy.
Cut this out.
But in all honesty, if anyone ever really wants to do a podcast and they want their sound to sound good, like just DM me and I'll hook you up with Emmanuel. He's amazing. Like he has done wonders for us. Yeah, there's my. I know. There's my sentimental shout out, buddy. So yeah, potatoes or rice. Meg, you're up first. I don't want to hear from Haya.
I already gave my answer too.
No one listens to you.
Yeah, I'm potatoes all the way. I'm German. I'm all about potatoes for sure.
Oh my God.
Mashed, baked.
So I walk into baseball the other day, and one of the kids that I used to coach, he's like, "Coach, are you going to coach us again?" I'm like, "No, I don't get along with the guys that run the league. Whatever." And he's like, no, we really need you. It's better than Mr. Potato Head. And I'm like, who's Mr. Potato Head? He's like, our new coach. He looks like Mr. Potato Head. I'm like, dude, that's not nice to say about your coach. He's like, no, really, look. And I'm like, holy shit, that guy looks like Mr. Potato Head with a hat on.
That's awesome.
I was just like, I had to tell that story. Mr. Potato Head. Freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely a potato eater.
Hey, yeah, you're potatoes too? I am only potatoes because I watched The Martian and he survived off of potatoes and ketchup. And then when the ketchup ran out, he just survived off of potatoes. And potatoes have starches in them and you actually can survive off of potatoes. Granted.
I saw this YouTube video where someone tried to live off of potatoes for a week to see how creative they could be.
Yeah.
And it just increased my love of potatoes.
What did they do? Like, and how did they feel?
Oh, well, no, they felt horrible towards the end of it because you're just living off of potatoes.
But honestly, is it a mental thing? Because your body could sustain and our bodies do adapt. Granted, you'll get palate fatigue like a mofo, you know? And
I think you'd have a lot of deficiencies for sure if you only ate potatoes.
You'd have to pay me to try that because I like meat way too much.
Yeah.
Just call a vegan up. They'll do that shit.
There you go. Yeah, we can experiment with one of them.
Would any of you do that?
What?
Experiment with one food for a week to see how creative you could be.
What's the food?
You get to pick.
I don't know. I guess I could do one food.
Meg, I would say broccoli for you. I would want it. That's like the worst food. That's like the worst food to be creative with.
Don't think my boyfriend would appreciate that either. Would smell.
Dude, the pooping doctor that I talked to at the gym, and he's got another name, but I call him the pooping doctor.
Pooping doctor.
He was actually telling me
Why would you want another name?
I know, it's such a cool name. He's going to come on the show, by the way. Like, I already talked to him, and he's a wicked nice guy. He told me broccoli's, like, really good for you. He was like...
It can be, but there's... it definitely... I mean, obviously, it is compared to a lot of other options out there.
But he said the fiber in broccoli and fool and falafel was different than the fiber in other foods. And remember how I talked about over-consuming fiber and how it can constipate you? Yeah, he was like, no, apparently broccoli and food is really good. So I like food.
There are genetic things that can impact, though, like your digestion on it and digestive enzymes with broccoli. So some people, they have to do things like vinegar or like a lemon juice or something along like with it in order to help kind of control that.
What was your coughing remedy, by the way?
Coughing?
Yeah, you said you had a wicked bad cough and you took oregano oil.
Oh, yeah. I was taking oregano oil. Like, if you feel sick or any digestive issues, oregano is like one of my favorites for if I feel something coming on, I'll definitely get ahead of it with that for sure. Women, though, be mindful if you're taking a decent sized dose of it. It can give you like an early cycle. Like it can induce like a cycle for you.
Why didn't you tell Haya before Empower Me? Yeah, dude. Come on, Meg. You're not on top of your game, dude.
Sorry. Just thought about that now. But yeah, I always traveled with oregano, especially going to like, I don't know, countries trying like new foods or just, whatever bacteria and things that you can be exposed to. People are always shocked to hear this too. I've been to like 25 countries. I have never done any vaccine that they have like, promoted that you do. I've drank the water in Africa. I've eaten the food everywhere. I've been fine. But oregano.
Dude, you had rhabdo. So, I mean, I think you're immune to everything now.
Used to everything. Yeah. No. And the time I got salmonella, that was in the States. So I had another little bout though this is the only other time I had it was only other time I had some of it. But and it was coming out of Sri Lanka. It didn't hit me until I was like actually back in Kuwait, but it was the last like few days of Sri Lanka, it had hit me there. But it was the only 5-star restaurant that we ate there. The rest of the time I was eating street food and I was totally fine. And it was the 5-star restaurant we were there. I had an undercooked chicken leg and I had eaten some of that. And the next, couple days it was brutal. Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, I've been good. But oregano oil is great for, good bacteria and stuff in the guts and helping combat some of those things with, little bacteria.
I'm going to add that to my hillbilly tonic.
There you go.
I'm serious. Jason told me about the hillbilly tonic. I mean, it tastes like shit, but it's actually pretty good. It's like fermented. It's a whole bunch of shit. I got the recipe card. I'll like tag it to the show notes. Like it's a whole like list of shit. You got to let it ferment. And then it tastes horrible, but it's pretty good for your gut. Like it regulated my pooping for a while.
There you go.
And even when I stopped drinking it, like my gut felt better. And like he described it as hillbilly tonic. That's what it's called.
Interesting.
Created by hillbillies.
For sure. Yeah. Interesting. I actually came across something, as long as we're talking about gut health real quick. One of my friends just had a baby and it was funny. You're talking about babies are born actually with like leaky gut. Like syndrome, like they don't. So that's why colostrum in breast milk is so important for them for building that lining in their guts, because apparently they're born with like a leaky gut. So for nursing moms or anything like your probiotics and your gut health is really important for babies. I thought that was interesting. I didn't know babies were born with that. I was like, damn, that's why they're always like, so gassy and fussy
and their first poop is black.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
My son pooped in her belly.
Yeah.
No, are you serious?
Yeah. No, I had a very traumatic childbirth.
Yeah.
It was traumatic.
It was. Write a book. We should talk about that on Psyched with Dr. D.
The trauma of childbirth and how I had 2 labors.
Yeah, that was a good. She had two, not one but 2, dude.
That's insane. Yeah. And definitely, that would be a good episode.
She put up with some serious pain, but yeah.
She's such a badass for powerlifting.
Oh yeah.
Can we just give me credit for the powerlifting a little bit? Because I did get you into that.
Oh wait, no. You know what I do want to remember?
What?
As I'm holding your head from looking across.
Wait, that was a good stretch. Can I hold it again?
Okay. As the best part of my day was when I hit that last deadlift and you and I went like running at each other.
Aww.
I like jumped and hugged you. We were screaming and cheering, and nobody caught it on tape.
Yeah, Malak was supposed to be recording.
It was like a slow motion, like
it was amazing, and we have no footage of it.
No, I think Malak was recording.
No footage.
Oh, sorry.
That's so cool. Oh, I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
Thanks, Meg. I appreciate that.
You too.
Can I eat now?
All right.
Everybody, thank you for listening to this show. And please, please tell your friends and family about the world's greatest show, The Project Kuwait, because we will make them laugh.
Yay. All right. Let's throw those questions up on Instagram. And I want to hear everybody else's answers too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram at The Project Kuwait. Thank you, and join us next time.